Hello, this is the RPG Crawler, and welcome to the channel update for August 2016. Uh, Plans for the coming month largely remain the same as they have been for the last few months, but with a few differences that I'll get into. But more importantly, what I will do is I will get into what's been causing all of the delays later in this particular video. Since they are family issues and personal issues, so you don't have to sit through them, I will put them after the rest of the channel update and the sign off. So if you want to find out what the hell's been going on, feel free to stick around. And if you don't, well, then we'll get to the important stuff first. First of all, I'm going to try to get back to posting regular tabletop content. I know I slacked off for a little bit. I've got some tabletops and taverns already pretty much scripted out. What I did was I went back to look at the script when I was about to record them and realized that I really did a subpar job. I mean, a really shitty job. They may still come out shit, but they'll come out less shit than they would if I just recorded what I had. I've been spending my time rescripting them. I will have some more RPG story times up in the near future. I've already got those ready to roll. Heroes of the Mist, the group is still... I still haven't recorded another episode of that because the group's schedules have still been scattered, and we are working on resolving that right now. But it may be another week or so before I even get a next schedule for that. I may try, and this may be this month or this may be next month, I may try some one-shots or some short couple session games of other systems besides D&D, just to get some sense of the playstyle of some different OSR or independent systems as well. As for my current Let's Plays, I will finish Throne of Ball pretty soon. I've got to go through Watcher's Keep, and then I will get back on the main storyline. I just haven't had an opportunity to sit down and really devote myself to recording it. It looks like, because I've done a little bit of research, it looks like I'm halfway through Planescape Torment, I think. I do not know for sure, but that seems about right. I will continue doing that for the whole hour per episode thing. I'll try to get more of those out pretty soon. In fact, you may see one up today. I'm not going to guarantee it, but I will try. I have a plan to do a Let's Play for a new game from the devs that did Menagerie Remastered, which was an indie little RPG Maker game. You can find the Let's Play for that on the channel. They've recently put one out a couple months ago now, I think, called Intelligence 314th Clash, which I will take a look at. And then I will also be starting another major Let's Play after the Throne of Ball is done. I have some ideas of what I want to do, not 100%. I will probably not do Siege of Dragonspear immediately. I will do it, but it's not going to be right away. I need a break from Infinity Engine games, and I'm not really looking forward to it that much. But I will do it at some point. I am trying to work out the review process I do. I'm trying to work on it and fine-tune my various processes. I'd like to do more reviews. I've said that numbers of times, but it comes down to a number of issues. My reviews are some of my most watched content, but they're also the ones that clearly need the most work. They get the most mixed responses. I am by no means a professional reviewer. I have no training in the matter whatsoever. And there is a balance that needs to be struck in terms of granularity and justification of opinion. That seems to be the main critique, is that I need to be more detailed. And I do agree on that. But on the other hand, I have to watch it to make sure I don't have to put like 6+ hour videos up, because I can easily go into super detailed responses on a lot of these videos if I'm not careful and not paying attention to what I'm doing. I really don't want to do like a 6 hour... I don't think I've got the chops to actually do a 6 hour video review on something, because I can't keep people... I don't feel confident keeping people's attention that long. But anyway, I am going to get more reviews up. It's just a matter of figuring out how much detail to go into things and how to approach it. I do have a pair of relatively major undertakings in the works, at least major for me. One is a look back at one of the most terrible computer RPGs of all time. I've got maybe a third to a half of the footage recorded for that. I'm just getting it when I can, because it's so bad in terms of not even necessarily the storyline stuff, but is so unstable that it makes it very difficult to get major blocks of gameplay footage without it crashing. but I will get that done. I'm going to try and go a little bit humorous on that, even though I'm not. I'm more what you might call a straight man in terms of the humor aspect. But I'm going to try and make it entertaining to watch, and I'm trying to up the production value on it a little bit. If that goes well, even moderately well, I may do more in that kind of vein. So we'll see how that goes. And then the other major undertaking that I've been throwing around is a kind of series of design videos. Now, I've been kicking around the idea of putting together a sandbox slash episodic mega dungeon kind of setting together. And if I do that, I'm going to try to get a video of the design process, everything from mapping to sketching out content, etc., etc. I'm not a great artist, but at least the process of it may be helpful to people who GM or people who are looking at how to design major RPG projects, and it may help them. Anyway, I think that's about all I got to say on this month. My goals remain the same as last month. I still haven't had time to sit down and do what I needed to do, which basically get more involved with the community. And this was going to be a good time to get involved with the community too, because they've got these community-driven videos floating around, like from the RPG Brigade and so forth. Which is a group of YouTube channels that are on Facebook. I really recommend looking them up. Several of them are viewers of mine, and I watch a lot of their content regularly, though I don't really interact with it as much as I really wish I could. But yeah, a lot of them are really good channels, and I really recommend them. But that's more community involvement is what I'm gonna be aiming for in the coming months. I've had a terrible time of it. In fact, you're about to find out if you follow this video past the next few minutes, because I am done with this month's update. If you want to hear why videos have been pretty slow this last while, feel free to stick around. If not, then please leave a like if you like this video, leave a comment if you have feedback, and then subscribe for more RPG content. Until next time, take care and goodbye. All right. You still here? You must be interested in my personal issues here. So, all right. I don't really like to go on about my personal life, my family life, and so forth. Some people who have seen my past videos may know a couple of the things that I do in terms of work, but that may be about it. But some people may have been wondering why things have been so slow lately with this channel. The first issue is actually pretty simple and actually a good thing. My father, who is 67 and has worked for the post office for a few decades now, finally retired at the age of 67, as I just said. As it is government work pretty much, the paperwork and process was complex enough that I had to assist him with everything pretty much, because they make it really difficult to fill some things out. The process took about a month to get everything in order and all the numbers lined up, during which time I was spending a lot of my free time making sure his math was right, checking his forms and such, resubmitting forms when the inevitable mistake slipped through, and so on and so forth. And then helping him with the actual transition, figuring out what he needed to do now that he didn't have to go to work every day for the first time in his life. Because he's been working since he was, in his mid-teens, pretty much nonstop all the way through. But everything got taken care of. And the process went very well. It was just time consuming, and I'm actually pretty proud of him for sticking it out that long. But, and here's the big but here, during this entire process, I've had a lot of added stress from another source. For several months, my sister, who has a history of mental health issues and drug use, has been staying in my guest room while I helped her try to get her life back on track. At first, it looked like she'd actually get her shit together. She got a job and was going to school part-time in her off time. I was helping to pay for what psychiatric treatment she needed, trying to make sure she kept up with her meds, giving her little reminders as to when to hit counseling and so forth. Everything was looking up, and then about 2 months ago, her behavior started to become a little bit more erratic. She started taking my vehicle and without permission and just, going out for days and days. She'd show up at like 3 in the morning, pretty much wasted, She trashed the place up. She started missing her doctors and counselors' appointments, etc. I was unable I was unable to verify whether she was on her meds at the time because of her increasingly unpredictable and aggressive behavior. She would be all smiles and sunshine one moment, then a shrieking rage machine babbling paranoid rantings the next. This got worse and worse over the course of time, and every time I attempted to intervene to get her back on track, get her into, her psychiatrist and such, even volunteering to pay the full cost of anything she needed, she completely refused. She didn't just not go, she flat out angrily refused and became more agitated. I was unable to determine whether this was simply because she was off her meds or if she'd gone back to using again. This unfortunately impacted my schedule, since I had a hard time finding a way to stream live or even record without the danger of some random ranting or screaming coming into the mic. And dealing with her outbursts was physically and mentally taxing to the point where even when I did have time, I rarely had the energy to really do things the way I used to. I believe that those of you who have been watching me for a long time might have actually noticed that change in my videos when I would just try and get one done just so you'd have something to watch. And I was not happy with the way that the videos were coming out because I was just completely exhausted. It got to the point where I was actually forced to consider having the authorities intervene. It's against everything that I believe in to have somebody forcibly committed. But even I agree that in certain instances, someone who's a danger to herself and others will need intervention, and I believe she was getting to that point. Yesterday, as of this recording, it all did come to a head. I invited our folks over to speak with her in a last-ditch effort to see whether she could have some sense talking to her, maybe make it very evident what she was doing to people and try to get her to willingly go get some help. I didn't even get a chance to breach the subject. She came in, picked up the phone. Our internet was on the blink yesterday, and because it's on the blink and I have a voice over IP phone, she basically picked up the phone, found out it didn't work, and instead of being a rational individual and asking why the phone didn't work, she walked over to me and my elder. I want to say elderly because he's only in his late 60s, but me and my father were standing there. She walked over to us and she started shrieking and screaming and accusing us of all kinds of weird shit just because the phone didn't work. She then struck me. She hit me in the face. And I'm not going to actually bitch and moan about that because she's a little pansy. But then she did walk over and attempt to strike my father. I was busy trying to hold my temper and not do anything back to her. She took a few swings at our father. Now, my old man is in way better shape than I am. He's ex-Navy, and he's had a walking route. He's a mail carrier for so many decades now. He's very much in shape. Spry old man. He found it way easier to avoid her blows than I. It was actually kind of comical to watch. It's like watching a drunk at a bar try to hit somebody and they keep dodging. When she realized what she was doing after a couple threats and so forth, she must have suddenly realized that she just attacked an elderly person, and so she fled out the front door on foot. And at that point, neither myself nor my father were particularly inclined to try to hunt her down or anything, so we just let her run off into the afternoon and just quietly locked the doors. As of now, she is staying with a friend's house. I really hope that she eventually gets the help she needs someday. But quite frankly, at this point, I've tried everything I reasonably can be expected to do and had it thrown in my face. She clearly does not want my help. She does not want her family's help. She does not want help, period. So what does that mean for you guys? Well, when she removed herself from this property in such a manner that basically removed a major source of stress and distraction in my life, I have no intention of letting her back in. I don't think that I'm going back to the 2 days of video, or the 2 video a day paradigm that I really wanted to do at first, at least not immediately. I will try to get back to the 1 video a day schedule because I found that relatively easy to take care of. Some videos are easier to make than others, so that's not really a problem. I will take the free time I now expect to have to devote it to making a few higher quality videos here and there to try to refine my techniques, such as the aforementioned thing on the really atrocious old CRPG. Anyway, my apologies for the rant there. I needed to get it off my chest, and quite frankly, I felt some of the viewers might have been wondering what the hell happened to me over the last few months. Anyway, I'm going to sign off here. This has been the RPG Crawler. Thank you for listening. Thank you for bearing with me. Until next time, take care and goodbye.